Hi there, this is Shyam, International SEO Consultant, and I'm here to help you do your own content research, especially about your competition in 3 ways, right? Competition research is often much ignored aspect in SEO and content marketing, and we are going to focus on how to do that for free on your own, right? Let's start with the first one. Now, first, you need to understand who your business competitors are, where do they get their traffic from. So to analyze where they are getting their traffic from, where their website is getting the traffic from, you need to go to a tool called SimilarWeb. And I'm going to share my screen and show you how that is done. So we'll take an example in this video of, let's say I have a skincare company and I want to understand where my competition gets the traffic from. So we're going to assume, a skincare company that is into sunscreen. Hypothetical, you'll obviously have your own thing. Now, in that, one of the companies that I know in India is a company called 82 Degrees East or 82e.com. So I'm going to analyze them to give you an example on how this is done. Right. So let me share my screen and I'll open SimilarWeb. This is a tool, SimilarWeb.com. And when you open it, you'll see something like this. It's a free trial. My trial has ended, so I'll not have all the values that you should be seeing when you have a free trial running. In this, you just put in the website that you want to analyze, and this is what you get. Right? You get the total visit per month. How much do they get per month? How many visits? So this is about 100,000 visits a month. That's fairly decent. Where are they getting the traffic from? Is it desktop? Is it mobile? And all of that. Then you get to know, how they have been has it been increasing, decreasing, what has been happening every week, how much are they getting, and so on. You also get to know which countries is this traffic coming from. So in this particular case, this is predominantly India. You also get to know the marketing channels. This is very interesting. How much percentage is coming through paid, so ads. So clearly, they have 30+%, so which means that they are spending a lot of money on ads. And there's some direct traffic. There is also social and all that. Organic traffic forms only 10% of their overall traffic. Organic means SEO and others. Now you have branded versus non-branded and all these aspects being analyzed, and you get a lot of details of the competition. If you have a paid version of this tool, then you'll get even more insights, but it's not necessary. You can just work with this and, to get started at least. That's the first step. So you understand where your business competitor is getting the traffic from. You know where are they getting the traffic from. You kind of understand, okay, how much of a role is the content playing, right? If let's say the organic was 80-90%, it means that a lot of people are discovering the website through searches. And that means that 100% their content is extremely good or their strategy is extremely good. In this case, organic is not much. It's just 10%, which means that, they may not be having that great an SEO strategy. However, it's good to know, right? So we are going to continue with this example just so that, we can, I can tell you all the other ways. So that's way number one. You analyze the competition on SimilarWeb. Now, next, now you know where the company is getting your traffic from. However, you would have noticed that I always mention this word business competition or business competitor in the video. And the reason I say that is because there is also something called a search competitor, which is, I don't know if it's a very well used term, but I use that. And the reason for that is when it comes to search, it's not necessary that your competition will show up, for example, on sunscreen. It might be some other company or a website of a different industry, a blog, a forum, maybe in skincare, it could be a dermatologist clinic that is showing up on search on page number 1, right? It's not necessary that your direct competition will show up. It depends on how well their SEO strategy is. So what that means is you can't just copy your competitor's strategy and assume that it will be good for your company as well. You need to see who is coming up on page 1 more often than your business competitor. For example, in sunscreen, if I'm going to run India sunscreen in an incognito window, and the reason I run in an incognito is because I don't want any personalization to happen by Google, right? So there are like these products, because my intent is not clear, I just say India sunscreen, right? So you see one of the companies is Deconstruct, Aqualogica, then you have Dr. Shades and all of that, which means 82E, which was the one that we were analyzing, is not on page 1, at least for this particular search term. Now, There are many other search terms that can happen, but you try all the main queries that you want to rank for, and then see which domains are ranking high. So for example, some of them, this is a Reddit forum that is ranking. Some of them may not be sunscreen products, right? So you kind of get a different perspective on the same competition. You will see that your business competitors and your search competitors can be, and most likely will be, different in some ways. You have reached a point where you know your business competitors and where they are getting the traffic from. You know your search competitors, and you know which of them have a better content strategy, right? Your search competitors will always have better content strategy because they are ranking on page one. You don't know if your business competitors are ranking on page one or not. So in this example, for 82E had only 10% through organic, right? So most likely they are not ranking on every search term that is there around skincare. So that's the second step. Step number 3 is to analyze topic pages of your competitors. What I mean by that is, for both your business competitors and your search competitors, you need to see what are the pages that rank for the topics that you are interested in. Now, what do I mean by that? Just search for sunscreen. Let's take the same example because it will be easier for us to explain. Say I'm again running with 82e.com as the example competition, right? I say site colon 82e, that's the domain, and then I say sunscreen, right? Now, what this operator site colon does is that I'm telling Google that only give me results from this particular domain and for the search term sunscreen. Meaning, whenever I search for sunscreen, what are the pages from 82e.com that will show up on Google? When I press enter, it gives me a result, and you'll see that there are, like in this case, 304 results that are showing up, and all of these are pages which can rank for sunscreen, or Google thinks is relevant when for sunscreen as a search topic. Now, this is a very broad term, sunscreen. You can say that sunscreen for oily skin, sunscreen for teens, sunscreen for elderly women, whatever, right? You can do your own permutation and combination. But the idea is, you want to know what are the pages that your competition has for a topic of your interest. Now do this for every business competitor and more importantly, your search competitors. Why search competitors? Because their content is already ranking on page one. Make sense? All right. So that's step number 3, right? So you figured out where your business competitors are getting your traffic from. You figured out who the search competitors are. You also figured out what are the pages all these competitors have for your topic. Next, you analyze the content strategy through an LLM. I created a prompt where I say that you're a SEO expert specializing in competition research for especially content strategy. You're tasked to understand the company 82E, again, the same example I'm taking, .com content strategy with their blogs, right? I will share the blog sitemap. If you don't know about sitemap is basically a file that contains the list of all the pages on the website that they want Google or other search crawlers to know about, right? So in this case, let's say if I open 82e.com, you'll see that they have a sitemap which links to sitemap blogs 1. See this? This is where they have kept their blogs. So I'm going to press enter, and you see this is the list of all the blogs that they have. You see this LOC, and then there is like a URL that you can see. This is the URL. This is one of the URLs that they have, right? So they put all their blogs under blog/journal/ and then they write, right? So I am telling Gemini, here are all the blogs on 82e.com. Scan through it, understand what is the type of content that they're writing, and so on, right? So that's what you're doing. Now, if you notice, there is it gives you a very detailed output. You can try it with different LLMs, Gemini, Claude, ChatGPT, and all of that, and you'll get kind of a content strategy what your competition is using. Do this for both your business competitors and your search competitors. When you do it, make sure that you kind of pick the ones that make sense to you. Don't just assume that whatever LLM is giving you as an output is right. What makes sense, pick that and leave the rest. That's your step 4. Right now we are at step 4, where we have done business competitors, where they are getting the traffic from. Second, you found out your search competitors through incognito tab in doing Google search for your topics. Third, you kind of looked at topic pages that your competitors have. So you looked at the pages for, say, sunscreen, and looked at what 82e.com and other domains have for your topic. So you understand that. Then if you like a certain content, save the URL, put it in your notepad or somewhere so that you can analyze it further later steps. Do all that, and then finally give all the input to an LLM, ask it to scan through all the content that they have, and then give you a content strategy. Now, what you need to also do is that you need to understand the organic strength of your competitor. Till now, we were just doing Google search and trying to figure out the competition's discoverability on Google search and stuff. But there is a better way. And you can do this through a tool called SEMRUSH, which gives you a 7-day free trial. This is SEMRUSH, what you see on screen now. When you put the domain here, you kind of get a detailed output of the domain. Like you get a lot of analysis, SEO analysis. I am clicking on top pages first. I am looking at, okay, what are the top pages for organic reach, right? Which pages get the most traffic? So here you see 477 a month is what they're getting from India, right? I can also filter by India. And then I am also putting blogs as a filter. Like I don't want to know which is their, right now my idea is not to know what is their most popular product which shows up on Google. But what I want to know is that which are their blogs that are running well. Now, once I know that, I kind of can analyze the content further and get an idea on what to do with it and all of that. So you can formulate your content strategy better. Those are the 5 steps, but I'm going to give you one more bonus, step 6. Here, I want you to input all these findings and insights and all of that into LLM and tell it that, hey, you are similar prompt, like you are a content strategist and all of that. And then say that, hey, this is the analysis I have done. These are the insights I found, and copy paste everything that you have figured out so far. Put it into the LLM. If you have your own content strategy, your goals and your current content and all of that, put that as well. And say that I'm going to ask you a set of questions once you finish the analysis. It will complete the analysis, and then you start asking your questions. Oh, how do I improve my content strategy so that I get more organic traction around the word sunscreen or topics around sunscreen? It will give you a good output. To do like this and do multiple iterations of this exercise, you will have a very robust, concrete content strategy from your competition. I hope this helps, and I'll see you in the next one.